The idea of this question here, 1a, is really just to take this equation and rearrange it in such a way that you can determine the gradient, which means putting it into a form y equals mx plus c. There it is. And then m right there, that's going to be what your gradient is. You need to have obviously a 1 in front of the y rather than a 3, which is there at the moment. So you can start off by dividing everything by 3 in that to get 7 over 3x plus y equals 13 over 3. And then the next thing you can do is take away this 7 over 3x there to get yourself y equals minus 7 over 3, because you're taking it away from both sides, x plus the 13 over 3, which stays exactly the same. And then you can see it straight away. You've got that m there, which is your minus 7 over 3 there, and that's your answer. All you have to put there is gradient equals minus 7 over 3. In question B here, you get given a new point C, and you get asked to find the line that goes through point C that's parallel to AB. And all that parallel to AB means is that it's got the same gradient as AB. We worked out the gradient of AB in part A. It's minus 7 over 3. So you need to use the formula that you should have seen before. It's y minus y1 equals m of x minus x1. And I'll just explain that for a minute. The y1 here and the x1 here, they're just the coordinates of the point that you want your line to go through, and the m is the gradient. So the point that we want it to go through is minus 1, 3, and we already have the gradient up here. So we can just put the values in as y minus 3 equals minus 7 over 3 brackets x minus minus 1, so plus 1. And then if you times out the brackets, then you get y minus 3 equals minus 7 over 3 x minus 7 over 3. That should be fairly simple. And your next step is just to add the minus 3 here to both sides, so you get yourself a y equals minus 7 over 3 x, and then minus 7 over 3 plus 3 is plus 2/3, and that is your line. So for this question here, you get given another new point. You get given the point that is the midpoint of AC. You already know what C is from earlier on. C, I've drawn that, that's up here. Okay, that's up here. So you can see where the midpoint is as well. I've drawn that in as well. So what you want to do to find A, if M there is the midpoint, then what you want to do is just basically carry on down that line from C to get to M down there. I'll scroll down a little bit. There you go. So A is going to be somewhere down here, and you just need to carry on what C did to get to M. So you can use the information they've given you, use the coordinates. So for instance, you can use that minus 1 and that 1.5. If you go from minus 1 to 1.5, all you've done is just added 2.5. So add 2.5 again, and you'll get 4. Do exactly the same for the y coordinate. You start off at 3, you go to minus 1. How do you do that? Well, you take away 4. So take away 4 again, you get minus 5. There's your coordinates, that's your answer. 4 minus 5. What I'm going to do here for C is, as soon as you see intersects the line there, then you know it's simultaneous equations. So the first thing you can do is have your equation number 1 there and number 2 there, and label them. That's number 1 and that's number 2 there. And you need to eliminate either the x or the y. so that you can work out what x or y is. I'll explain here. What you can do is take number 1 times it by 2 to get 14x plus 6y equals 26, and then you can take number 2 and times it by 3, which will give you 9x plus 6y, which equals 36. And then, very simply, to get rid of this y here, this 6y, you can do number 1, take away number 2 here, which will give you 5x equals minus 10. Then from that, you can determine that x is obviously equal to minus 2. Then once you've got that, once you've found that, you can put that back into one of your original equations, number 1 or number 2. Doesn't matter which one you do. Say you put it into number 2, if x is minus 2, then you're going to get minus 6 plus 2y equals 12. Then you just add 6 to both sides and divide by 2, so you get y equals 9. There you have it, that's your answer.